My mother is sick this year, and I want to take her back to see her. She said that your hometown is a small place and there are bad people in poor places, so I won't go. I won't force it, but the house is bought by my mother, so it's okay to take her here to spend the new year. My wife said that your mother is here. Where do my parents live? So I packed my luggage and went home by myself. She stopped me and said that if you dare to go back, I will beat the baby in my belly. I don't believe that I can't see my own mother during the new year. In the end, I not only saw my own mother, but also drove a sports car to marry the bad people, he said. My wife Lu Ruyan and I met at work. In order to marry her, my mother took a 200,000 yuan gift and bought a house locally. Since the house was renovated, my mother has not lived in it for a day. Even after 3 years of marriage, Lu Ruyan has not returned to my house once. Some time ago, my mother had a serious illness, and I wanted to go back to see her during the new year. Before I even opened my mouth, Lu Ruyan rejected me. Forget about it. Your family lives in a small place. It is a poor place with bad water and unruly people. My most hated colleague lives there. I feel sick just thinking about it. I won't go there. The place where I grew up is so unbearable in Lu Ruyan's eyes. If I don't want to go, forget it. I don't want to force it. After my father passed away, there was no one to take care of my mother, so I said that we would take her over during the new year. Lu Ruyan retorted that it was impossible. Don't think about me. Before she finished speaking, she was interrupted by Lu Ruyan. My mother bought this house in full and I paid for the decoration. How can it be a wishful thinking for my mother to live there for a few days? Realizing that something was wrong, Lu Ruyan began to ask my parents to serve me here. Your mother has no place to live when she comes during pregnancy. You can let your parents live in one room and my mom can sleep in the small second bedroom. My dad snores at night and they can't sleep well if they live together. I feel bad. My mom bought a house but his parents each occupy a room. They eat and drink at home and order me to do housework. My mom never thought about this. Lu Ruyan was pregnant and I gave in to her, so I bought a ticket home. I didn't expect Lu Ruyan to be unhappy again. I'm pregnant but you're not by my side. If you dare to go, I'll kill the baby in my belly. I don't understand. It's New Year's Day and I can't see my own mother. Lu Ruyan and I had a quarrel. She got up to go to the bathroom. There was a red patch on the bedsheet. It smelled of blood. I was scared and thought I had angered her. I followed her to the bathroom. Lu Ruyan and her mother-in-law's voices came from inside. Why are you having your period again? You haven't gotten pregnant yet. Shocked, Lu Ruyan said. Could it be that you had an ectopic pregnancy before and the surgery hurt your body? Ectopic pregnancy. Lu Ruyan clearly told me that this was her first pregnancy. I leaned against the door frame. My body was light and fluttering. Don't let Xiao Yu know about this or I will divorce you. Lu Ruyan said with a sigh. It's over. My period has leaked. I can't get it on the bed. Go and have a look. The sound of the toilet flushing came. I left home quickly. I sent a message to Lu Ruyan, telling her that I had something to go out. Give them enough time to deal with the sheets. The cold wind outside is biting, but it's not as cold as my heart. I gave everything for Lu Ruyan, but he treated me like a monkey. What did this family of 3 hide from me? I went to the store and bought a bug. It didn't take long for me to know their conspiracy. At this time, the bug came with the voices of Lu Ruyan and my mother-in-law. I couldn't hide it anymore. This old woman has been sick for so long. Why hasn't she died yet? My chest hurts. The daughter-in-law that my mother has been trying to please turns out to hate me so much. My mother-in-law spoke. I see Xiao Yu is not very happy. No, you go home with her for the new year and stabilize her. No, what if we go back and the old woman is happy and recovers from her illness? I clenched my fists as I listened. Lu Ruyan, you really want my mother to die, so what are you planning? It's the voice of my father-in-law. Lu Ruyan's laughter came. Once the old woman dies, I will pretend to be too sad and have a miscarriage. Xiao Yui is distressed. All the money and house are mine. Later, Xiao Yu will be the nanny of our family of 3. My father-in-law applauded. This is good. I have lived in the village for half my life. I can get a house in the city when I am old. There is someone to take care of me in my old age. This marriage is really worth it. Of course, Lu Ruyan almost got married with that gangster. Fortunately, I met Xiao Yu in the hospital. We are blessed for the rest of our lives. I felt like a bucket of cold water was poured on my head. When my father had a car accident, Lu Ruyan was a nurse in the hospital. She saw the insurance company come to verify. Following me around, it turns out that everything is done with ulterior motives. You want to eat up the whole family, right? I will let you eat and eat. I did not refund the plane tickets. There is still a week before the new year. I bought a few more tickets to Sanya. When they heard that I was going to take Lu Ruyan and his parents to Sanya for a vacation for the new year, Lu Ruyan was overjoyed. He and his parents were like 3 peacocks and wished that everyone knew that they were going to Sanya. When Taiping arrived at the resort hotel, the frugal father-in-law was uncharacteristically determined to have a room of his own. Lu Ruyan advised, Dad, Xiaoyu doesn't mind your snoring so you two can sleep in the same room. The father-in-law was unwilling. Lu Ruyan pulled his father over and said that the money saved would be theirs. After hearing this, the father-in-law agreed. However, at night, the father-in-law not only stopped snoring, but also sneaked out of the room. Out of curiosity, I followed him, and the light of the mobile phone was printed on the father-in-law's face. He walked into the alley at the corner downstairs of the hotel, and stopped in front of the adult products store. The father-in-law, the man, walked in with a smile, and I froze. This old man was better than me and was good at playing. I pretended to sleep and listened to my father-in-law grunting and making a fuss on the other bed. He thought that living alone was for this. The next day I tested him and said that I was going out at night. Not only did my father-in-law not ask the reason, he also promised to keep it a secret for me. Lu Ruyan was really impatient. I hid in the corridor of the hotel and saw a woman in a miniskirt knocking on the door. She was old but she was still having fun. I found an internet cafe and slept for a night. When it was dawn, my father-in-law was done. She had made a mess of the room, and there was a rope hanging from the ceiling. At lunch, my father-in-law was still not satisfied. He ordered an Australian lobster and a king crab and 10 skewers of kidney. Dad, how much will it cost for you to order so much? Lu Ruyan felt distressed. It's okay to stay in a hotel, just eat as much as you want. Seeing me nod, Lu Ruyan and my mother-in-law took the menu again and ordered a large table without hesitation. It's true that you can eat as much as you want, but the money is included in the room fee. Lu Ruyan picked up a king crab leg and was about to put it in her mouth. My wife is pregnant and can't eat crabs. Lu Ruyan had a deflated expression on her face. After hesitating for a moment, she put down the crab leg in her hand, and while I went to the toilet, she put them all in her mouth. Seeing the greedy look of this family of 3, I felt disgusted. I looked at the plane ticket in my hand. It would be too late if I didn't leave. Lu Ruyan ordered a SPA and was lying on the bed while enjoying myself. I said to her, "Wife, I want to go back to my hometown." Lu Ruyan sat up immediately, and half of the mask on her face fell off. No, my mother has not been in good health recently, and asked me to go back and wanted to give me something. Hearing this, Lu Ruyan's eyes rolled. She must have thought that my mother was terminally ill, and wanted to give me the inheritance. Okay, husband, you go soon and come back soon. When my father-in-law heard that I was leaving, his joy was beyond words. It was arranged tonight, but I won't be able to see the good show. I first went to the city where I worked, contacted the agent, and put the house on the internet. I arrived at my hometown that afternoon. My mother's house was at the easternmost end of the village. It was New Year's Day, and every household had posted window flowers and spring couplets, but my house was the only one that looked dilapidated. I pushed the door open and went in. When I got there, my mother was warming herself on the Kong in a big cotton-padded jacket. "Mom, I'm back." Upon hearing my voice, she immediately put on her slippers and left the house. "Xiaoyu." I looked at my mother's brilliant eyes and slapped myself hard. No wonder she didn't often reply to messages on the phone. It turned out that her cataracts were so serious. I knelt in front of him and said, "Mom, the unfilial son is back." My mother held my arm and pulled me up. "It's good that you're back. Don't say discouraging words during the new year." He looked behind me. "Where's Lu Ruyan? Why can't I see him?" I suppressed my emotions and pulled my mother to the bed. "Mom, I'm going to divorce Lu Ruyan." "What?" My mother was anxious. "Xiaoyu, did you have a fight with Lu Ruyan?" He picked up his walking stick and hit my legs. "Go back now and coax Lu Ruyan, Mom." I hid with my teeth bared. The door outside the house was kicked open. "What are you doing?" I looked at the door. A thin girl in a big coat came over with a wooden stick. He protected my mother behind him and pointed the stick at me. "Who are you? Are you targeting Aunt Lu alone and his money? This girl looks familiar." I couldn't help but take a few more glances. The gangster kicked me in the vitals. I fell to the ground injured. "Tingxue, this is my son. He deserves to be beaten." Bai Tingxue swung the wooden stick and was about to fall on me. "Wait a minute, Bai Tingxue, I know you. I am very familiar with the name Bai Tingxue." Lu Ruyan scolds him 800 times a day. Bai Tingxue threw at the team leader again, flirting eyes. "What? A slut, Bai Tingxue. This bitch is just a little one." The nurse showed her off. Bai Tingxue wore a V-neck sweater today, as if she was afraid that others would not see the fake breasts. Thinking of this, I couldn't help but look at Bai Tingxue wearing a tight base with protruding breasts. "Where are you looking?" Bai Tingxue wrapped her cotton jacket tightly. "I'm sorry, I didn't mean it." I stretched out my hand to Bai Tingxue. "I'm Lu Ruyan's husband, hello? The enemy of my enemy is my friend. I have to be nicer to her." Bai Tingxue rolled her eyes. No wonder she ignored my outstretched hand, turned around and took out the blood pressure monitor in the room, sat next to my mother and measured her. "It's much better. Aunt Lu has recovered well during this period." My mother smiled. I nodded. "This period of time is thanks to Tingxue. She is the daughter of our neighbor Aunt Lin, who came back to celebrate the new year." I thanked Bai Tingxue from the bottom of my heart, and I cooked a table of meals myself. My mother patted Bai Tingxue's hand. "It's the first time I eat Xiaoyu's cooking, thanks to you." Turned her back and wiped away a tear. "Xiaoyu, you are such a fucking piece of shit. You threw your mother in this broken house and didn't care about her for 3 years. You didn't even cook a meal for her, but ran to the city to serve tea and water to Lu Ruyan's family, wash clothes and cook, and let them live in a big house. Don't blame Bai Tingxue for hitting me. She deserves to be beaten." I picked up a piece of beef for my mother. "Mom, I won't let you live like this in the future. I have decided to divorce Lu Ruyan. This you don't have to worry about it." Mom sighed and stopped talking. Bai Tingxue clapped her hands. "Congratulations, the cuckold brother has awakened." "What does that mean?" Bai Tingxue curled her lips. "She and our team leader, the whole hospital knows about it. This was a blow to me. My wife, whom I dote on the sky, not only wants my money, but also has someone else outside. I must not be soft-hearted towards this family." Looking at the time, the play on my father-in-law's side should start. At 1 a.m. I received a call from my father-in-law. Xiao Yu, save me. Hello. I pretended that the signal was not connected, hung up the phone, and then turned on the phone to flight mode. The next morning, Lu Ruyan sent a bunch of messages. Why did you turn off your phone? My dad is missing. Come and help us find him. Xiao Yu, the people at the hotel said that my dad was arrested by the police. They must have arrested the wrong person. Come here quickly. Xiao Yu, why is the room charge so high? Didn't you say that you can eat as you like in the restaurant? I roughly calculated that the food, drink and entertainment expenses in Sanya are more than 30,000. Lu Ruyan and her family have lived in my house for so long. It is only right that they invite me to Sanya, so I blocked Lu Ruyan's messages. Today is New Year's Eve, and my mother has prepared the New Year's goods. She asked me to put up Spring Festival couplets. Our family hasn't put up Spring Festival couplets since your father passed away. This year it will be lively. I stood on the chair and Bai Tingxue was directing from below, on time and on time. I twisted my body, tripped and fell forward, kneeling straight in front of Bai Tingxue. For the sake of the late master, I said, you are still the best. Bai Tingxue laughed so hard. He is not the same as Lu Ruyan at all. On the day of leaving home, my mother stuffed me a bank card which contained the compensation for my father's death. He wanted me to do some business on my own. I took the money and kowtowed to my mother. Mom, I will pick you up soon to live a good life. Rushed to the airport. I found that Bai Tingxue and I were sitting next to each other. He stuffed me a piece of green plum. Even his words smelled of plum. Bai Tingxue nudged me with his elbow. Will you really divorce Lu Ruyan? I nodded. There is no room for maneuver on this matter. My car stopped at the airport, by the way. Bai Tingxue took a ride. Just arrived at the square. I ran into Lu Ruyan. Lu Ruyan stopped in front of my car. Seeing me stop, she hurriedly knocked on my car window. Xiao Yu, where the hell have you been? You don't answer the phone or reply to the messages. You don't want to live anymore. I lowered the car window. I'm sorry. My mother is in a bad condition. The phone is out of battery and turned off. I knew that you wanted me to go to such a shabby place. Before she finished speaking, she paused and obviously saw Bai Tingxue. Why is she here? Why are you two together? Bai Tingxue smiled because we both came from the same shabby place. As she spoke, Bai Tingxue unbuckled her seatbelt and opened the car door. Thank you for taking a taxi. I'll leave first. Bai Tingxue ignored Lu Ruyan shouting, turned around and walked into the crowd. Xiao Yu, didn't I tell you that Bai Tingxue is the person I hate the most? Why did you let her sit in your car? I looked at Lu Ruyan's angry face suddenly became very funny. The reason why she hated Bai Tingxue was because she seduced the team leader. Didn't she like Bai Tingxue? I used to think that Bai Tingxue was the slut he called her. Xiao Yu, I'm talking to you. He has sat in this car before. I don't want it anymore. You can take it or not. I didn't pay a penny, but there are still many things to do. I stepped on the accelerator and rushed out. The house was in a mess. The father-in-law was taken away and there has been no news so far. When they checked out, the hotel charged them more than 50,000 yuan and their credit cards were maxed out. It seems that they are also very free and easy after I left. They really deserve it. The mother-in-law sat on the sofa with her legs crossed. Xiao Yu, you have to make up for the money. It's funny. Why? Because Lu Ruyan married you, we are your elders, but my mother is also your elder. Have you ever been filial to her? Mother-in-law and Lu Ruyan were speechless for a moment. Lu Ruyan held my husband. I didn't even have time to ask my mother how things were going over there. How much of the inheritance could I get? I shook Lu Ruyan's hand away. My mother is fine. What inheritance is there to share? That is nothing. You are so good, Xiao Yu. You are playing tricks on me. Lu Ruyan's finger was shaking at the tip of my nose. Believe it or not, I will divorce you. A divorce I would love nothing more. Lu Ruyan didn't move again until the next day when I went back to work. Bai Tingxue sent me a message. Lu Ruyan was slapped by the team leader today. You will have a hard time when you go home. Sure enough, Lu Ruyan's face was red and swollen when she returned home, and the whole person was gloomy. Xiao Yu, I tell you, I am pregnant with your child. You have to take out the money, or I will beat her. She has hit a wall with the team leader, so she comes to me to seek dignity. The child cannot be beaten. It is a life. Seeing that I took the bait, Lu Ruyan said that she could not beat me, but you have to pay the rent for me and put the house in my name. I sighed. I am afraid these are not going to work. I lied to Lu Ruyan. I failed in my investment outside, owed a lot of debts, and the house was mortgaged. In fact, I used the money my mother gave me to invest in a domestic game, and now it has increased several times. Lu Ruyan didn't believe it. He thought I was guarding against their family. It happened that my father-in-law was sent back. He looked very old after not seeing him for more than 10 days. My mother-in-law rushed over and grabbed him. What on earth did you do wrong? Why were you arrested? My father-in-law looked at me guiltily and said, It's okay. I just talked nonsense on the internet. Someone reported it. Now everything is fine. I went out to work and eavesdropped on their conversation again. My mother-in-law said to me, Lu Ruyan, did Xiao Yu know about your fake pregnancy? Now he doesn't want to give us anything. It must be because of the last leak. What should we do? My father-in-law said anxiously, I don't care. Anyway, this house must be mine. I don't believe he can kick us out. Lu Ruyan said with confidence, and her career was done neatly. They kicked me out of the house. As long as I don't take the money and change the house title, I can't go home. It happened that the agent contacted me at this time. Someone bought my house. Let me vacate the place as soon as possible. I notified Lu Ruyan, but Lu Ruyan ignored me and told me to get out of here. I told the agent that this matter was a bit difficult. Some people were standing there and refused to leave. Could you help me get rid of them? I would add a percentage point to the agency fee. The agent readily agreed. After the phone call failed to reach an agreement, he brought people to my house the next day. Lu Ruyan was still self-righteous. Xiao Yu, you are not going to do the same thing you did when you confessed to me to win me back. I tell you, bring the money and the house deed. Otherwise there is no way. I winked at the agent, and the agent kicked the door open with a skillful kick. Lu Ruyan was so fierce. What house are you taking? This is my house. We bought it before marriage. From house inspection to decoration you didn't pay a penny. What does he have to do with you, sir? The house has been sold. Please cooperate. Lu Ruiyan's family looked at each other in silence. At the agent's command, the people behind them began to pack up their things. Stop. Lu Ruiyan was anxious. She followed behind to stop them and was pushed to the ground. The mother-in-law jumped up and tore the plastic bag. A bunch of small toys were scattered on the ground, looking shocking. Where did this come from? The mother-in-law asked her to take it out of that room. The agent pointed to the place where the father-in-law slept. What are you doing with these? The father-in-law was speechless. I decided to add fuel to the fire. Mom, I advise you and Lu Ruiyan to go to the hospital for a physical checkup. What does it mean to have her as a prostitute? Lu Ruiyan and her mother-in-law no longer wanted to interfere in the sale of the house. The three of them flew there. Hospital. After they left, the house was handed over smoothly. I used the money in my hand to buy another 2-bedroom apartment, and the key was express delivered to my mother. Soon news came from Lu Ruiyan. My father-in-law was angry. Lu Ruiyan sent me a message saying that this happened because I took them to Sanya, and I should be responsible for their family. It's ridiculous that my father-in-law can't control his crotch. What does it have to do with me? Lu Ruiyan threatened, believe it or not, I will abort the baby in your belly. After hearing this, I opened a hotel room for them and sent my father-in-law's toys over. Lu Ruiyan hugged her shoulders and looked at me arrogantly. If you want a child, just listen to me. I followed Lu Ruiyan's words with a begging attitude. Wife, I will listen to you. Can you lend me some money? What do you mean I invest failed? The house was lost. Lu Ruiyan and mother-in-law looked at each other. Seeing that they didn't believe me, I took out my resignation letter again. The company has fired me. We are a family. You can't just ignore me. Resigning is my own decision. The money I have is enough to start a company. I knelt on one knee on the ground. Wife, you still keep the betrothal gift. Let me pay it back, okay? Lu Ruiyan's face was ugly. I took the opportunity to pursue the victory. I tell you I owe money. It is also common to the husband and wife. You have to pay it back. Why did Lu Ruiyan take the bait? Divorce me. I want to divorce you. Her face was hideous. Her voice was sharp. The mother-in-law also echoed, yes, divorce now. Just waiting for this sentence. It's worth it that I have been looking for Huang Yonyang for a long time. The day I got the book, I asked Bai Tingxue had a meal. She ordered the spiciest soup base and her face turned red after eating it. I didn't expect you to be so courageous. You said you would leave and then leave. Of course, before she finished speaking, Lu Ruiyan's voice came over. Bai Tingxue, you are really not picky. Haha, I looked up and saw Lu Ruiyan holding hands with Zhang Peng, the leader of the medical team. Zhang Peng took a puff of cigarette with a sarcastic look on his face. So you like this? What does it have to do with you? Bai Tingxue was too lazy to give them a look, but Zhang Peng got excited. He supported our dining table with one hand and put the other hand on Bai Tingxue's chair. He raised his eyebrows. Does he have money? Please beg your brother, I'll treat you to this meal. Do you have money? I have a lot of money all over my body now. Bai Tingxue was furious and was about to get up. I held her hand. Tingxue, thank you for treating me to dinner. He turned his head to look at Lu Ruiyan. Lu Ruiyan, can you lend me some money for the sake of the child? I'm desperate. Child, what child? Zhang Peng looked at Lu Ruiyan. Lu Ruiyan opened her mouth for a long time without saying anything. After all, she asked my mother for 20,000 yuan as soon as she got pregnant. Zhang Peng pushed Lu Ruiyan's shoulder heavily and said, didn't you say that you wouldn't let me touch you during your period? Lu Ruiyan's face flushed. She wanted to say that she had an abortion. As the head of the working group, Zhang Peng was not easy to fool. She was in a dilemma. In order not to give up Zhang Peng, this crooked tree, Lu Ruiyan could only admit that she was not pregnant. She was just waiting for this sentence. Give me back the extra 20,000 yuan my mother gave you for raising the baby. Zhang Peng was stunned. Not only did you lie, but you also committed fraud. I didn't have it. Listen to me, Lu Ruiyan said as she chased after him. Zhang Peng came out. Bai Tingxue burst out laughing. I didn't expect you are a drama queen. I am a drama queen. But there is one thing that is not acting. Bai Tingxue was confused. What do I thank you for? I want to pursue you. I looked at her seriously, and gradually Bai Tingxue's face flushed. The marriage was divorced and I had money. I began to pursue Bai Tingxue openly on Nurse's Day. I drove the limited edition sports car. I just bought to the hospital to pick up Bai Tingxue after get off work. As soon as I walked to the nurse's station, I saw Bai Tingxue in a white dress like jade. I was about to speak. A young nurse who recognized me shouted, aren't you Lu Ruiyan's poor husband? Lu Ruiyan turned around when he heard the voice. Don't bother me. He looked at the 999 everlasting flowers in my hand and the Rolex on my wrist. With a weird expression I looked past Lu Ruiyan and looked at Bai Tingxue. Happy Nurse's Day. As soon as I finished speaking, Lu Ruiyan snatched the everlasting flower from my hand and threw it to the ground. Xiao Yu, there is no possibility for us. Don't do this. Everyone knows that you are in debt. The petals were scattered all over the ground. I felt so sad. I told Lu Ruiyan that you have to pay for the 60,000 yuan. He seemed to have heard a big joke. 60,000 yuan? Where did you get the money to buy 60,000 yuan worth of flowers? If you want to trick me into getting back together, don't do this. I'm dying of laughter. Lu Ruiyan laughed so hard that I fell backwards. I felt sick and took out my cell phone. I don't have time to make trouble with you. If you don't pay, I will call the police. Seeing that I didn't mean it as a joke, Lu Ruiyan's smile froze on her face. This broken thing is worth 60,000 yuan. The nurse next to her came forward to take a look. It is indeed worth it. This is Rose. Only Lu Rian was stunned. She looked at me carefully as if I had changed my appearance. Xiao Yu, you really spent a lot of money to pursue me. You are making money. I will not pretend anymore. I took out the sports car keys from my pocket. I did make some money. Lu Rian stared at my car keys with wide eyes. In this case, I have to think about it. Lu Rian pretended to think. He tilted his head and squinted his eyes. I reluctantly agreed to you. Ha, I laughed out loud. What did you promise? Me, Lu Rian frowned. Agree to your confession. I shook my head, walked past Lu Rian, step by step towards Bai Tingxue. Under the gaze of everyone, I knelt on one knee, held the 10-carat diamond ring in my pocket in front of Bai Tingxue. Bai Tingxue, I really like you. Marry me. Bai Tingxue obviously did not expect my proposal. She was stunned. It's okay. You can refuse. You can also consider it. I won't give up. Bai Tingxue smiled and shook her head. No need. My heart wrinkled, but I heard her say, I am willing, really. Bai Tingxue nodded gently. She put the ring on her finger. I picked her up high. Applause rang out all around. No one cared about Lu Rian. She was thrown there like a rag. Lu Rian was completely broken. She scolded me for 3 days and 3 nights in the circle of friends, but unfortunately no one cared. My company is thriving and I have plenty of money to spend. My wedding with Bai Tingxue is scheduled for the beginning of next spring. In order to get married, I bought a duplex. Bai Tingxue designed it herself and hired someone to decorate it. Before the Chinese New Year, the house was ready. I took my mother over for the new year, and took her to see the retirement home I bought for her. My mother wiped away her tears. She said she didn't expect that I would have this day. It turned out that my mother understood everything without saying it. Back when we got home, Bai Tingxue pulled her mother to chat. I tied on an apron and started to cook. When the New Year's Eve dinner was served, fireworks were set off outside. I poured wine and said, let's raise our glasses. We clinked our glasses together and hoped that we would have this day every year. Bai Tingxue looked at me and smiled gently. This day will come every year. Fireworks rose into the sky, shining brightly. Turned out that life could be so beautiful. Extra. On the day Bai Tingxue and I got married, Lu Rian came. I heard that their family was in dire straits. Lu Rian's father was paralyzed since he was diagnosed with sheep. He was no longer as mean as before. Lu Rian's mother jumped around for a few days, boasting that I was devoted to Lu Rian and was still pursuing her. I didn't expect that the news of my marriage to Bai Tingxue would be published in the local newspaper. Her lies were exposed and she was like a frostbitten eggplant. Later, I don't know who spread the news that her husband was ill. No one even danced with her in the square. No one dared to greet them when they went out. She was like a stink bug. Lu Rian was fired by the hospital because she destroyed my everlasting flowers and tried to defraud my family's property. She was not idle. She had several boyfriends. When they heard about his family's situation, they all ran away. Lu Rian came to my wedding. He raised his head proudly and stepped aside. I am Xiao Yu's ex-wife. Miss, I'm sorry, you can't come in without an invitation. Lu Rian didn't believe it and asked Xiao Yu to see me. The security guards didn't hesitate at all, and threw Lu Rian out of the hotel together. Lu Rian fell to the ground in disbelief, as if struck by lightning. He forgot that we are no longer from the same class. His arrogance and unreasonableness will not work. He is like stinky dog shit and we will get better and better. The whole text is over.